Our top 20 heartbreak, breakup, post-Valentine's Day video game songs. This is Silent Hill 2 True. The next 20 tracks will be chosen by members of our Discord. If you'd like to join our Discord, you can. There should be a link. If it doesn't work, please comment. Starting up next, we're going to start off with a big old banger. Because, as Grey Walk has said, Chris won the Chemperor by other names, there are a lot of pretty sad, slow ones. So I've tried to break it up a lot. A lot of times I'll do sort of like slow, medium, high build, bring it down. But there are so many sort of lower ones that I've had to, at times it's going to be a bit of a, to use a medical term that's a bit insensitive, bipolar in the terms of like low and then high, low then high. But it was the only way I could get it where we didn't have too many slow piano ballads in a row. So the first one is from Prince. This is from Beat Saber. This is a big old banger. This is called Reason for Living.
I hate that this feeling just keeps on coming back.
Singing like a baby.
It's like a lump in my throat, yeah, you feel like a heart attack. Can't even talk to your friends who used to be my friends, cause I'm a reckless. Can't even go to all places, cause I see our traces. Yeah, it's helpless. Thing is staying out too late, but nobody's at home waiting for me. I'm staying up for the feeling, it's the reason for living. Telling myself I'm doing okay. Dancing like I see the light of day. Who cares if I make it home by the day? I'm staying up for the feeling, it's the reason for living. Sleeping into the afternoon, just to erase every single thought of you. Can't even throw out these photos and memories that we were just making. And every shot that I take is a piece of you I'm still erasing. Cause I don't even sleep no more these days. No such thing as staying out too late, but nobody's at home waiting for me. I'm staying up for the feeling.
Swing your arms, hit the block. Swing your arms and hit the block. Alright, that was Reason for Living by Morgan Page. I thought we'd start off with a nice big banger. That's sort of the phase of the breakup where you're like, yeah, we broke up, I'm sad, and the way I'm going to deal with it is go to the dance club that's a VR club, and I'm going to play Beat Saber, and I'm just going to take out all my aggression and sadness and frustration. It's a nice one. It's got some nice, lush tones, and it's got that sort of like pumping compression. I think it's got a lot of warmth for this type of EDM song. Next up, Crackerjackers, is going to be... I'm not ready to come down this much just yet. Let's go with another one that's got a bit of energy. This is from Chrono Cross. Remember, these are sort of breakup songs and heartbreak songs, mournful, wistful songs. This is Dreams of the Shore Near Another World. nice track. I love that really dreamy synth choir thing in the background, keeping time. The fretless bass that's really allowed to wander. The mournful violin. To me, this is sort of like, yeah, maybe somebody that you love that passed away, or perhaps you met somebody and it was beautiful, but maybe one of you was traveling. You met them in Romania, but you're actually Japanese, Canadian, and you need to go back home to Vancouver. Sort of like memories of a brighter time. Maybe you met somebody on vacation at a sandals resort or something. A great track. This was submitted by, I can't remember who, but it was the only track they submitted. So I'm glad they put it in. Next up, Crackerjackers. Oh, mama. This one happens in the second half of an incredible JRPG. After the World Ends. This song is called The Day After, and it's from Final Fantasy VI. Final Fantasy VI, The Day After. Definitely a song to sort of wallow in the terrible things that have just happened. And I love that it sets that groove in, and it's kind of, it's like, sort of like there's a lot you need to kind of buzzing around in your mind, and it's grooving. And then when it finally hits that really triumphant next chord, it really works with these sort of like folksy mandolin sounds and this flute. I think it's going to happen right here. So it's sort of like a triumphant moment in a country's otherwise sad history. Like, we are the proud people of Chile, but we were attacked and raped by the Spaniards. Beautiful track. A beautiful, beautiful track. All right, I don't think I'm quite ready to get down and dirty with this one. Let's cruise a little. This one is from Sora no Kiseki. It's called Hamel, which I think is called Trails of JRPG Anime Video Game Sky Megamix. Really nice track. It's from Trails in the Sky, right? I like what Black West had to say. Feels like thinking, what went wrong in the relationship? What did you do? But you realize there's no other way around it. It does have that kind of introspective, you're thinking about it, but there's an eventuality of the sound of the, there's an eventuality to the sound of it. Really nice pick. All right. There's one I really, really want to play, but I just won't yet because I think I'm waiting for a part to feel kind of ready to feel real low, dirty low. I'm putting on some happier ones to start off the first half of this. All right, this is another Final Fantasy track. This is called Fisherman's Horizon from Final Fantasy VIII. Zowie. What a beautiful one. Uematsu has a way of using unexpected chords, unexpected notes. He goes out of the scale and he can really challenge your ear. And I think he realizes that because video game music is looped, especially in the time in his heyday, that you need to give people a hook early on that has like a very hooky melody right here. But then you need to switch it up, and like the arpeggiating notes, there's maybe like every fourth one is an unexpected note, and then the second half of the song really goes for some unexpected out of the box note choices. And when you have to hear something potentially dozens and dozens and dozens of times, at first it's unexpected, but it keeps it from becoming tedious and repetitive, and it keeps you wanting to hear it over and over again. I like the way he kind of weaves this together. It doesn't, I mean, you know that it's repeating, but it doesn't sound like it's an endless loop. Uematsu's pretty good. All right. Okay, let's, you know what, how about, this is one from SpongeBob. I noticed Rudy said, oh, I can't believe there's a SpongeBob theme in here. Welcome to a 90s kid with Prince. There will always be SpongeBob somehow, no matter what we're doing. This is from Trail of the Snail, a main menu theme. I like this one. It's kind of bouncy, but it does have a sorrow in it. A seedy heartbreak bar in the south. Yeah, this definitely reminds me of, say, like, Roy Orbison. Make life worth living on the trail of a snail with SpongeBob so wet. A beautiful track. Thank you for that. Very Roy Orbison-y. So you can be happy and sad at the same time. Let's... I'm trying to look for one that needs me to break down. We're not quite ready for Chris's pick, which is just absolute bonkers. But I think we need to pick it up just a little bit. How about... Oh, here we go. This is another one from Final Fantasy VI. Always lots of Uematsu when we get the chance. This is Celeste's theme. I love this mix of music box arpeggio, which is so delicate and sad, and this very lyrical sort of... I don't know what that sound is. Sort of like a synth mainline melody. And those that cluster of sort of like resolving sus chords at the very end are just so powerful. It's like someone very reverential has passed, but it's still a beautiful thing anyway. What a great track. Uematsu at his bloody finest. All right, we are pounding through these. How about we start hitting some of the sad ones? Let's actually, you know what? Let's have a nice middle moment here. Get ready for something really weird. This is from Eco. It's called "You Were There." That is a hell of a proggy song. I think it really works, especially with this cover. And when you think of the castle that they're trying to escape from, all the different layers and things kind of moving and things coming up from the ground and above, it's almost like looking at one of those. Is it Escher that does the Impossible architecture? And I think the drums really echo that, where the drums are steady and they're spacious, but where the snare and the kick land seem like they're constantly changing. It feels like you're getting rotated and it's messing with your perspective. I like that mandolin sound, how it's recorded so there's so much like air and you can really in your mind you can see somebody playing it. I think it's done really, really nicely. The lyrics are nice, very sweet. There's a part right before the B section where it kind of goes ba la now. Really sounds like that awesome track Uematsu added to Final Fantasy VII Remake. I thought that was going to be a lot weirder because earlier today I was assembling all these to see where I should put them, and I only heard the beginning, and I thought the whole thing was going to be sort of like a Revolution Number 9 by the Beatles. All right, that was a beautiful track. You were there. Let's go with this one. This one I think is really, really, really beautiful. Really gently too. She somehow puts a lot of power behind it in that middle part while singing softly. Absolutely, yeah. She doesn't feel like she needs to belt. It's like a little fairy singing strongly. This is from Life is Strange 2. It says on the wallpaper, Episode 5, Wolves. This is called Into the Woods, and I really, really like this as sort of maybe the morning after a big fight or something. So gorgeous. A pretty simple song, but a really, really effective chord progression that's great at looping and kind of feels like no matter where you turn, it's just going to endlessly resolve into itself. Almost like you're very carefully telling someone very bad news. So last night, I did have sex with 5 bears in the woods. And 2 of them are pregnant. And that's why I'm covered in honey. And 3 of the bears are still in the garage. Came back from home with me from the woods. Oof, that's a heavy one. All right, this next one is my favorite of the week. Leonot. It's a Leonot pick, actually. Me and Leonot may disagree completely on what makes a video game good, but we tend to agree on a first. We tend to agree on a few musical tracks here. This one is from Nier, the first Nier. This one's called Grandma. It definitely does what Nier tracks do, but this is one of the finest examples of it. For me. How this big build, how the notes just kind of seem like they're bubbling over at that climax of it, and then when the progression ends up in this sort of ambiguous chord, second to last chord. I mean, a lot of the best Nier songs sound like this. I think one of the main Nier battle tracks is like this, except a bit more sped up. But for me, it just it hits me emotionally. Similar to Rachmaninoff, a lot of counterpoint. A lot of Romance era classical music uses this style. Oh man, what a track. My favorite of the week. Suddenly gets really resolute, like they've been wronged in the situation. Yeah, it's like they're looking back, they're like, oh well, we've broken up. Wait a second. It was their fault! Now they shall be destroyed. Oof. Beautiful. Nier's Grandma. This one is from Grandia 1, Farewell to Sue. honey, chim chim cheroo. A life as a chimney sweep is all I can do. I could see Rudy had mentioned that Falcom ripped this off. I mean, this is just like a classic descending progression with the melody marking the changes as it goes down. So it would be really easily for anyone to stumble into this kind of composition, right? It's what they do in the B-side, and the sort of texture around it is what makes it original. All right, that was Grandia. Are we ready for... let's big it up now. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Neo's theme, One Thing. This one I thought was going to be kind of a generic J-rock rocker, but has some very interesting chord changes that keep it a lot more captivating for me. Pretty peppy, but kind of like that sort of teenage angst where you're still young enough to feel really excited and energetic about maybe some heartbreak gone wrong. It reminds me of being at like a local rock show, a scene show we would call them, with a bunch of people who aren't drinking and really enjoying the music being a bit more proggy and a bit more nerdy. Yeah, sort of like 2000s emo. Like when pop punkers get better at their instruments and they want to add way more chords. Definitely, yeah. Fuck the world. Screw my parents. Although I still need them to pick me up after the show. That was nice. Blaze Blue. Let's keep it peppy. There's going to be a lot of piano ballads coming up next. Okay, well, that was pretty peppy. This is from, so we'll bring it down so we can keep bringing it back up. This is from Lost Odyssey, track 25. You just know there's probably like 57 tracks on here. Lost Odyssey, if you don't know, was Hironobu Sakaguchi, who was credited with creating Final Fantasy 1 through 6 and 9. He went off with Xbox 360, and this was one of his... This is this was probably his most well-known one, I think. I think Uematsu did the music as well. I really like that intro. Yeah, I think, piano's always going to have... Because piano can sound so lonely, right? I mean, it can do the whole song by itself, but it can be kind of cold. And with the sustain that you're using on the notes, there's sort of this built-in reverb like it's in a much bigger place. It kind of sounds like the notes are going out there and walking by themselves. Hey, Simon, welcome. Yeah, I think piano's a very sad-sounding instrument. Guitar has way more warmth and bass and violin, because you're sort of like you're caressing them and like pulling on the notes and the wood, whereas piano is a cold metal thing that's vibrating, right, and getting hammered. Even like trumpets and saxophones and wind instruments, you're breathing life into them, and drums have that kinetic energy of hitting them. But piano's, it's like a harp, but with a bigger range. Okay, and then this opera singer getting murdered. I think the only thing we can play after that is Banana Heartbreak from Ape Escape 3.
Troubles. The suit I knitted for you and put in your mailbox with a love letter should fit you perfectly. Yeah, I hear you secretly bury the special banana lunches that I make for you every day. Oh, say it's not true.
I feel like you broke up with a girl and she's captured you in a net like a monkey, and you pass out, and then you wake up in her basement and she set up a stage and she goes, "We're going to be together. I have some things I need to tell you." And she puts on a one-woman stage production showing you how bad she feels that you've broken up.
You've got here, you scum! Look how much I do for you! You fool!
Oh, it's actually quite literal.
Stupid look off your face.
Welcome, Ink.
It's time to make up your mind. Don't you see I love you? Don't you see I love you? I can't spend the rest of my life. I can't spend the rest of my life crying, so I'll spend the rest of my life. So I'll spend my entire life chasing you. Here I come.
That one was so good, I had to bring it back up for the finale. That was nice. Woo! That was brutal. I mean, really good. Okay, let's break it down. This is from Minotaur Hotel, Island Journey. I don't know a lot about this one. Siegfried can fill us in. I don't really know what stringed instrument is doing all the plucking. Each week there's always one element that we tend to find in a lot of the tracks that is sometimes unexpected. Sometimes it's like during the boss themes week and there's going to be a lot of choir. And this week it's fretless bass. There's a lot of fretless bass. Seems like a spaceship from a 90s 3D point-and-click adventure game. Yeah, it does have that more kind of proggy late 90s, early 2000s feel. Adult contemporary music. Is the stringed instrument some kind of like Asian guitar? Like a, I don't know what you'd call that, kalimba or something? Interesting track. Maybe South American. Sounds more Asian to me. That was from Minotaur Hotel. All right, let's get heavy. This is Hopeless Desire from Final Fantasy X. I think when you hear this track, I think it's really easy to relate it to, when you jump into a portal and you're taken to a faraway land and you wake up on a beach with a bunch of people who play volleyball as a religion, and you happen to be a famous sports celebrity, and you meet a girl who's kind of a priest, and she's on a mission where she's going to have to sacrifice herself, and, you end up dying too. It's a story we all been through. And this one reminds me of that. It does. One which is the melody's a little more distinctive and unique in the original, but you like the composition and mixing in the HD. That tends to be what happens with these remasters, is that they kind of add so much more that the layering and the lushness of it is nicer. It's like a little softer, more palatable. You can do more, but a lot of times the original melody gets a little bit lost, especially in some of the battle themes in Final Fantasy X Remastered. Marching to a war you know you're gonna lose. This is like this is like when your significant other says, "We need to talk. I'll talk to you back at the house." Oh no, what's he want to talk about? Can't you tell me now? No, I'll tell you later. Oh, so serious. All right, we got a couple more. This one is also pretty sad. Also from Square. This is Octopath Traveler. How damn good did this game look on the Switch. I was really when I saw that this was on the Switch, I thought, ooh, Nintendo might have something here. If they can be a platform for sort of high-end indie games, kind of like what you were getting from Steam, except way more curated and from some of the better developers. This song actually really reminds me of the one we heard earlier from Nier, Grandma's House. I really, really like this track. It kind of has that, like, yeah, like something really violently bad is happening in sort of slow motion, you know? Like one of those war movies where all of a sudden it goes into slow motion and there's no more sound effects and you can just see that kind of thing. And I can't really explain why. I think it's because just the push and pull of the violin kind of yearning up top and then the viola or the cello pulling it down the whole time. It's more of that beautiful counterpoint. This is like when Willem Dafoe gets shot in Platoon. You open up a banana and a spider comes out. My banana. Oof, what a great track. Holy hell, that's one of my favorites of the week too. We've only got a few more sucker duckers. This is from Xenosaga, Episode 1, The Girl Who Closed Her Heart. Yet another piano ballad. I was trying to find a way to get through this list in a non-tedious way. Ooh, that's a nice movement. It's interesting with this track. When I first heard it, I thought, oh, it's going to be kind of generic, but then there's that nice movement there, and there's several moments in here where Mitsuda shows that he's, or she, I'm going to guess he because it doesn't end in a ko. There's enough unexpected moments that show maturity to the composition. They keep it pretty fresh and not just sounding like a run-of-the-mill kind of slow piano dirge. Ooh, that's a nice spot there. He just puts a nice little stamp on the end of each phrase. That gives it a little something extra, something unique, and tells a much more interesting story. And it's amazing. I mean, how many times can you combine these notes? There's only a limited amount of notes that fit in a scale and in different keys to tell a story on the piano. Every note does feel very purposeful. Really well done. It's interesting. I was kind of waiting a while to play this one because I remembered the opening being sort of. I wrote it off as just another kind of drab piano thing, but it's a really beautiful piece. Okay, Cracker Jackers. We are down to the final two tracks. The first one's kind of long. The second one is quite short. After I play the second quite short one, the recording of this will end. The stream will continue as we BS a little bit longer. All right, so second to last track. Here we go. A great track, the ending theme to Katamari Damacy. Alright, so if you're watching the YouTube VOD, I'm going to hit the stop record button after this. If you're watching the stream, we're going to hang out a little more, chat about next week's tracks, and maybe some other things coming up, and whichever. Time to move on. No hard feelings. We all deserve love. Even little people can make big things happen. This next one is going to be very, very short, and I don't think I've ever heard an expression in video game music or any music that so captures an intense post-climactic release of tension.